Joanne Palmisano designs home interiors, but they're not your average rooms. She uses salvaged items,
Look at these.
vintage pieces,
Look at the detail.
all kinds of old stuff, and she transforms them into one-of-a-kind designs. This dining room is a beautiful space, but with a really bad table.
It's outdated and underused and not the right size for this room.
Joanne is going to replace it with a homemade, one-of-a-kind table made entirely out of salvaged materials.
My heart is set on using old, wide plank boards for the dining room tabletop.
Fortunately, you can shop for salvaged building materials online or find your local recycle center by searching the web. They carry lots of old sturdy floorboards, salvaged from factories, houses, and barns that were torn down. So Joanne has plenty to choose from.
I can't believe we found 3 gorgeous boards that are almost 2 inches thick.
These boards were leftovers from the construction of an 18th century farmhouse, and they're heavy. So she's going to need some sturdy table legs to support them.
I might even consider a column, an old post, a baluster.
Look at these.
Before choosing posts to repurpose as the table legs, Joanne needs some expert advice from the employees.
These are porch posts from a Victorian. Did you check to see if these are hollow?
I did, and
Okay.
it is at the top. So does that mean,
You're going to end up doing some work gluing it up just so it'll stay together.
but I can band that and cut it here and
You
then
can.
maybe cut it here
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
get 2 legs out of this?
Yeah, I
So
don't see a problem with that.
Okay.
Once she's confident that the Victorian porch posts will make sturdy table legs, it's time to start building. Just to be safe, Joanne enlisted the help of a carpenter.
When you're working with anything that has to be a functional piece of the house, a table, a countertop, it's really important it's structurally sound.
To transform these pieces into a dining room table, they first have to plane the inside edges of the boards where they meet so that they're even. Then glue them together and clamp them tightly while they dry. Next, they measure and cut a frame out of salvaged boards, so it will become the skirt of the table and form a base for the tabletop to rest on, leaving 4 inches of overhang on all sides. Then, they cut and attach braces for the legs at each corner. Structural lumber is added behind the salvaged pieces for added support. Because this part of the table will never be seen, it's okay to use new or scrap wood. Next, the salvaged posts are cut 2 inches shorter than the desired tabletop height to act as the legs. The hollow centers are filled with scrap wood and glue to add strength. The cut edge was sanded down so that the legs wouldn't scratch up the hardwood floors. Then, they're attached to the frame at each corner and secured with lag bolts. Once the tabletop is dry, they cut it to size at both ends for even edges. Then they lay it face down on the ground so that they can center the base on the underside. They attach the frame to the tabletop with 1.5-inch wood screws. Now they can sand the top boards just enough to be smooth, but still show the rustic markings, and bevel the sharp edges for a finished look. Because they were so well preserved, Joanne chose a dark stain for the top boards to give them a more weathered look, and painted just the legs of the table, preserving the original patina of the salvaged boards.
Saw marks, the nail marks, the insect marks all shine through under the wax.
The finished table is both larger and sturdier than the old one. It's perfect for family dinners on holidays or every day of the week.